Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at some of these charts, shall we? And of course, I'm not your financial advisor, it's definitely not financial advice. So we'll start actually in reverse, and we'll look at a request someone's made, just very briefly, which is REN. We've looked at this a few times before. Now, the first time I looked at this chart, it was just, I think it was around here or here, and I noticed that there was an incoming death cross, which was here. So to me it didn't look very healthy at all, and I did expect a sell-off, quite a large sell-off that would be. I didn't think it would be quite so fast. This has been one of the worst looking charts, worst sell-offs I think I might have ever seen. Not even really an opportunity for any bounce at all. This is terrible. So my first actual expectation was it to reach around between 6 and 650. But that has just been completely just crashed right through all the way down. So we do have another temporary stop here, which hopefully we might find a bounce out, which is 443. But the way that it's going right now, and look at these moving averages, they are just completely destroyed. I've never seen anything quite. I've never seen a 200 moving average make such a dramatic U-turn. So I would say that this is it's not going to zero, but it's going to keep going. This will probably be smashed through this 442, and then we've got basically our opportunity to make a bounce on our previous all-time lows, which would be down here at 349 or 310. That would not surprise me in the slightest if it hit there and went straight through and made all-time lows. This is the absolute pinnacle of bad coins. Now, I don't know anything about REN and the ins and outs of it, and looking at this chart, I don't really care to. There's no need for me to understand what it's all about when I'm looking at something like that. This is just awful. I don't know if people even have the opportunity to short this stock, this coin, but if they did, I mean, they would be laughing all the way to the bank. It's a real shame, to be honest with you, because it did look kind of like it wanted to do something here, but as soon as this started to buckle down and we saw this deep rejection here, we kind of expected that there would be a death cross, and this death cross has been the death cross of all death crosses. Let's have a look where this took place from here to here. What kind of retracement are we looking at the moment? We're already looking at a 55% retracement, so more than your average after a death cross. And where are we from top to bottom on this one? Let's have a look. How far have we retraced in this amount of time? It's pretty big. It probably looks about 70% or something. Yeah, just short of 70%. And in how long? 42 days. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. That's unbelievable. So yeah, I would definitely stay away from this coin. We'll have to wait to see if there are any bounces on this area, which I'd be surprised if there was, but there could be, where we are right now, as in today. And if we fail to bounce from there, then we're down here to 349 to 308, and hopefully we'll start to see some bounces at that point. Now, with a coin like this, when it's been rejected so heavily and it's been sold off so heavily, do we expect it to make bounces all the way back up to the top? Probably not. Probably would go up there eventually if we were to bounce on these supports, but if we'd start to make lower lows, like all-time new lows, I would definitely stay clear of this one, probably for a long time, if not forever. And just a brief look at this guy. This continues to explain the circumstances. It's the crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin, so all coins apart from Bitcoin, and how much money is involved with them. And we can see that we're back to where we started when we started this in April. We started to make our new highs and our all-time highs, and now we're retraced all the way back down to where we started from. Some coins will be lower, some coins will be just a bit higher, and some coins will be exactly where they left off. So it's a brief overview of what's going on, and the way that this is going, we do have a death cross here, just like you saw on REN. There's a death cross. It's a steep death cross. So like we saw on REN just a moment ago, some death crosses can retrace an enormous amount. I think what was REN was about 50%. Generally we expect about 35%, and this one has only just started really, so we could find our way back down here eventually, and if not, maybe back down here. So a very, very big steep decline in altcoins.
So let's have a look at Bitcoin, what's been going on. So I spotted this. I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention to it yesterday, but what happened here? 1 minute, when this is a 1 minute chart I'm on, okay? This happened in 1 minute. It was well, where did we start from? We started from down here. 3.66% move in 1 minute and then sold straight off. What is all that about? Do you know what that says to me? That says to me that somebody's looking to make a move. And that move to me would probably be pushing up towards the $11,000 to $11,200 before we have our inevitable sell-off. We look on this daily chart. Where are we right now on this rejection? We have this descending. Oh, it's so annoying. We have this descending trend still, and this descending trend is getting ever lower and lower and lower. So that was our little 1 minute peak that we had yesterday. It's strange because it really did make the candle look like it wanted to do something. When you look at it overall, I mean, that was caused in 1 minute. That's ridiculous. When I say manipulation, all trading is manipulation by nature. You know, if you have more money to trade than others, you're gonna contribute to the movement of a candle more than others. It's not manipulation. That's just the way it works. So if you're a whale, you know, and you decide to, you know, buy more or sell everything, then you're gonna contribute to the movement of a candle. You know, it's just the nature of how things work. I mean, it's, you know, manipulation isn't what you think it is. You know, it's not it's just people trading, and some people have got a phenomenal amount of money to trade with. So that's probably something like what happened yesterday. It's very strange to see something like that in a 1 minute time frame just go up and out. But what it has done, and it penetrated the top of this, the resistance box, which in theory is a win. You know, it's a win for the bulls. So what I would suggest now is that we hold tight and we wait to see if we can make our way above there again. And if we do, we are really looking at testing and breaking this $11,000, because this descending trend here, is this on the wicks? Yeah, it is on the wicks. This descending trend here, you can call that, if it wanted to do it today, you can call that 11,079. So really, if we're looking to breach 11,100 and have a candle close above there with at least a 4 hourly chart, if we can do that, then we have broken this trend, and we'll be looking to make nice considerable highs, I would say, at that point. And that's all there is to it. If we are rejected from this descending trend, which, like I say, is that same level, and we'll call it 11,100, if we're rejected from there, it should be a relatively strong rejection. This is a daily chart here, but it should be a relatively strong rejection. I'm talking maybe $500 rejection, similar to what we saw here. How much was that overall? There to there. Yeah, about $500. So something like this we would like to see, but again on this area here, to be tested on this area here. So it's make or break time. It's a relatively easy one to trade, I would say, even though I don't, you know, I'm not telling you to do anything at all, but it's a relatively easy one to trade, I would say. We're waiting for either a rejection or a breach of this area. Once we've got a rejection, we're probably coming back down, you know, incrementally, like we did this last time we saw. So we came back down relatively strong, and we bounced back up, but we can come near it, and then incrementally came back down. But if we're rejected on this occasion, I'd probably expect to see the same, and probably over time, maybe a lower correction, perhaps down back into the low 9,000s over time. But if we break above it, then, to be honest with you, it's I wouldn't call it a blue sky breakout, but it would be a pretty constructive breakout, and we'll be looking to make decent moves at that point. And I would certainly be placing a long at this point. You know, once we've broken 11,000, we'll call it 11,200 to be safe, and closed above it on a 4 hourly at a minimum, then let's think about taking some longs. Right, let's have a look at Matic then. So Matic's being sold off as we speak, and it has made some okay moves, relatively okay moves. It's now being sold off again, and it looks like it wants to continue to be sold off for the rest of the day. As far as the analysis is concerned, you know, when we look at the charts, it doesn't really want to do a great deal more than be sold off. This is the nature of altcoins at the moment. Everything's being sold off. When they pump, they get sold, they get put into Bitcoin, especially when Bitcoin's in this situation right now. People are going to be wanting to put their money into Tether, waiting for that move, which, like I say, I've explained, it's either big move up or big move down. So where do you want to have your money? You want to have it in Tether, really, don't you? Just in case that move goes to the up or to the down. You can't go wrong when you've pocketed your profits and put it into Tether, waiting for Bitcoin to do its thing. So when we look at Matic anyway, we had these big moves all off the back of the Coinbase announcement. We had some decent moves here, and it looks like we perhaps bottomed out. Well, I say bottomed out, but found a strong resistance at 1.2 cent. And now we moved back up again, but you know, we did have technically death crosses on the 4-hourly, and we had big sell-offs as a result of that. We're looking to get this green and this purple back above the white and the yellow. Now we did break out of this descending trend, but it hasn't really held a great deal of relevance to us at the moment. The proof will be in the pudding today, because indicators on the 4-hourly certainly look like they want to come down. RSI is quite high, that would definitely want to come down. So I would say that there's definitely more down pressure today than there is anything else with Matic, which is a real shame, because we all like a bit of Matic, don't we, on this channel. It's not really working out for Matic right now. We've got to wait for some. Well, to be honest with you, Matic is in its infancy. These trades are all quite positive, really, when you think about where it's come from. It's got absolutely very little substance to the coin at the moment. It's all speculation on how grand it will be in the future, and any movement up is positive, but it's not gonna pale in comparison to the moves up it's going to do in the future. That's my take on Matic, which is why I like to accumulate this all the way. When I'm buying it back here, bought it around, where is it? I bought a load at 2 cent here. Bought a load more at 2 cent back here. Been buying it at 1 cent here. So I've just been buying this all over the place. And you might call me crazy, but you know, there's a lot of people that accumulate Bitcoin. Same, well, I accumulate Bitcoin also for the long-term hold, and that's exactly what I'm doing with Matic. And like I say, let's tune back into this channel in about a year or two from now, and we'll see if any of that's paid off. Now, obviously I do trade, I do margin trading as well, so I do make a bit of pocket money out of margin trading, but in reality, you know, I don't have the time for that. So the main thing I have the time for is investing, and like I say, I'm busy, I've got a job, I've got a family, so investing is basically the way forward for me. Back in the old days I could trade all I liked, but now I can't. So yeah, that's my deal with Matic, and like I say, let's see where we go from here. Like I say, I expect it to come down. Perhaps maybe overall bottom level would be to test 1.2 cent before we start to see bounces again, unless of course we have an announcement from Coinbase or even Binance US. But let's not forget that, you know, Binance will be off limits for US customers soon, and even if US Binance comes online, Matic's not actually been listed on that as far as I can see. So Matic is likely to take a little tumble in the short term, just due to that. But we got a mainnet release at the end of the month, and like I say, with fingers crossed, they will be accepted on Coinbase. There's no guarantee, obviously, but it might do. Now, if it's not, then it'll be a sad day for this chart, I can tell you. But if it is, well, I think we all know what will happen to this chart if it is accepted. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you have a nice day, and yeah, take it easy.